Hail to the king, baby.
What's up, YouTube? It's Saturday. And Saturdays for us now are Series in Review. Today's series that we're going to be focusing on is the Evil Dead trilogy.
So good.
We are big fans of the series. We both got really excited with the Ash vs. Evil Dead TV show, but that's something separate. We'll do something with that later.
Eventually. Today's focus is only on the movies, though. The 3 movies, not that 4th one that they did.
The remake?
Like however many years ago now. Now it's been a while.
2012.
Yeah, we're not talking about that, so forget that. Just the 3 original movies, the Evil Dead trilogy, all its glory.
Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. So, let's start off with Evil Dead. Evil Dead was released in 1981. It was filmed in Morristown, Tennessee, in a little cabin that, right after they finished filming, was turned into a brothel. About a year or two after it became a brothel again, it was vacant, and then it burned down. I actually was living near Morristown, Tennessee for a while, and I managed to find the location where it was filmed. The only thing that's still there is the chimney, although I don't know if the chimney is there, because I was there like years ago now.
Well, probably not. Maybe
Yep.
it is, maybe it isn't.
But it was... Stephen King loved the movie. And because of that, Sam Raimi paid, homage to Stephen King in, every other movie that he did.
Yeah, Stephen King, the quote that Stephen King said got that movie so much more attention than it would have got had it been just the underground independent movie they made.
Yeah, I think it was something like, a ferociously...
The most ferociously original film.
Horror film, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. And Stephen King loved it because it is completely different. It was something that hadn't been done up to that point.
Practical effects. Everyone loves practical effects. Well, maybe not everyone, but I love practical effects in this movie. Even with as campy as it looks now, and as cheesy as it can seem to people now, this movie was fucking awesome. I love it.
And another little tidbit, they bought out every store's supply of Caro syrup to make fake blood in the area that they were in.
With how much blood is in that movie, it makes sense.
Yeah. But I give the first movie a 7.
I give the first movie a 7.
It's a great movie. It really lends itself really well. It actually is inherently horror, which that sort of turns around in the later movies, but we'll get to that in a second. Bruce Campbell does phenomenal, and I really wish that Bruce Campbell would have been able to make it to legitimate leading man instead of just sort of this B movie actor leading man, which I like him for that too.
I love B movies.
I'm a big fan of B movies.
I love him.
Bubba Hotep.
To be honest, this movie is not a good portrayal of Ash, though. Like the first one.
Well, Ash is a giant pussy in this one.
Yeah, it's. We'll get to that in the second one, but still, Bruce Campbell is the man.
Yes.
We love you, Bruce.
Yes, and it was really good with the possessions in this film. The tree rape scene still gets talked about a lot.
What? Literally a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone remembers that movie. It's almost as if they remember it for that scene.
It almost feels that way, yeah. Because when I saw it the first time, that's pretty much all I thought about. I was like, oh, that's the scene where the girl gets raped by a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the movie is good outside of that.
The remake tried to recreate the shock factor, and it was just kind of more disturbing in a creepy way than in a terrifying way.
Yeah, but we are not talking about the remake.
We're not talking about the remake.
Stay on topic, you son of a bitch.
Stay on topic!
Stay on topic!
Stop getting off topic by telling me to stay on topic and just stay on topic. Whatever.
But yeah, it's a great movie to start off with when you want to watch them all in order, which I suggest every Halloween watching these 3 movies.
I watch them every October.
Yep.
Like clockwork, every time.
And that's pretty good for the first movie, unless you have more you want to say about the first movie.
I mean, the first movie is probably my least favorite out of the 3, so That's probably good.
It's still a good movie. It's just
It's a good movie.
yeah.
It's great, and especially if you're watching all of them, it's great to watch. But the second movie kind of reboots that movie.
Yep. And the second movie, Evil Dead 2, was released in 1987. It was filmed in Wadesboro, North Carolina, in a high school gymnasium, and in some basements in Detroit, Michigan.
Right on. Go Michigan.
Go Michigan. There's a couple of scenes where Ted Raimi is in the old lady suit.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's up on wires. One of the wires breaks, so he's sort of hanging sideways. And just the sweat that built up while he was in the suit comes pouring out the ears. You see just this liquid. You think it's like, in the movie you don't really think much of it. You just think, oh, it's just, like more blood or whatever coming out. But no, that's dude's sweat from in there. But that gymnasium was like regularly in the 90s because it didn't have any circulation for fans or anything.
Sounds super pleasant.
Oh yeah, it was phenomenal. But this is the movie where we actually begin to see the real Ash character.
The good Ash character.
The good Ash character.
He completely does a 180 from what he is in the first one to this one.
Yeah.
Because badass Ash versus I'm a little scared little bitch Ash, like night and day difference.
Yeah. And there's people who say that, I like to think that Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2 are parallel universes. Some people say that, he actually went to the cottage once and then went back to it again, which makes no sense to me.
And it's essentially the same plot, so...
Yeah, it's the same movie, it's just they decided to make the hero a hero in the second
characters
one.
for the second one, too, because then it could focus more on character development.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's a lot of iconic scenes in Evil Dead 2. There's the one where he starts actually losing his mind, and everything in the cabin starts coming to life, and they all start laughing together.
Dude, when the deer head and shit starts laughing and fucking going back and
Well, I love the part, too, where when he's laughing and he stops, he goes... and everything's like doing the same thing, and then they start laughing maniacally again. And the part where he's looking in the mirror and he's like, I'm okay. And he's like, you just cut your girlfriend up with a chainsaw. Does that sound okay to you?
Well, another thing that people, when you think of Ash, you think of the chainsaw, and you think of the toting shotgun, double barrel, fucking badass shit. And you don't get any of that in the first movie.
Yeah, that all stemmed from this movie. That came from Evil Dead 2.
Which is better.
Yep, I give this one an 8.5.
I give this one an 8. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
And it's a perfect lead up for the third movie in the trilogy.
It is. And it cuts off right the way it should have. Like, usually cliffhangers piss me off, but the cliffhanger in Evil Dead 2 didn't piss me off. But I was, of course, able to watch Army of Darkness directly after.
Yeah. Of course, I had watched Army of Darkness before I watched Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that.
I still...
In fact, I remember that the first time I watched Evil Dead was when you brought the DVDs home and we watched all 3 of them. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, we watched all 3 of them in a row.
That's the first time I saw it.
That was when I came home on leave for the first time in the Navy.
Like 11?
I think it was 2000 or 2001.
So 12, maybe? Yeah.
Really? You were 12 in 2001?
You're old, bitch.
Moving right along. But yeah, it's a really good movie. It keeps you entertained. But this is it where the first one tries to stick completely to its horror roots. This one turns into like a horror action comedy,
which is perfectly fine by me.
Yeah, and let's be honest, a blending of genres like that this really built Sam Raimi's career. Sam Raimi, who's the director of the films.
Yeah, because he went on to direct fucking Spider-Man.
Yep.
Drag Me to Hell, I really enjoy.
Darkman. Just the first one.
The good one.
Yeah. And, he's done a lot of decent films like that. And the films that he does have a really weird mix of comedy and horror and
slapstick.
But I mean, what do you expect from a guy who grew up watching Three Stooges?
Well, the Three Stooges inspiration definitely shows up in the second Evil Dead movie.
Yes,
definitely. It's got a lot of that slapstick.
Yeah. Which is fine because somehow it fits.
And it works, and it doesn't bother anyone. Like,
yeah.
No one. It doesn't put off the movie in any way. Like it would.
Yeah, it doesn't detract from anything that's going on. It's not like the comedy is out of place, which makes it weird. The comedy just fits right in perfectly.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. It's a perfectly blended movie.
Yep. Which leads us into Army of Darkness, which was released in 1992. It had the widest theater release of all three movies. And it was the first one to be basically a big budget movie, and it was filmed right outside of Los Angeles.
And it is fucking awesome!
The lead female is Beth Davids, who played Miss Honey in Matilda, and she's done a lot of other stuff too. Which also, if you get the European cut of Army of Darkness, it actually has a sex scene between her and him. But it's only in the European cut.
Was that released as the bootleg cut?
Boomstick Edition?
Oh yeah, Boomstick Edition has both versions.
Yes.
That's the one I had on DVD for a long time.
And this one, like, is less horror, because they sort of, like, push the horror to the wayside, and it's just, like, action comedy with horror theme?
Not really themes, elements.
Elements.
Like it has zombies and shit like that.
Yeah. But it's still phenomenal.
It's awesome.
And this really shows Bruce Campbell at his most sarcastic. Like, it really developed the Ash character into the lovable asshole that we know today.
And we love the boomstick.
Oh, yes.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
This is my
boomstick. So good. So it has so many great moments in that fucking
There's
movie.
so many quotable lines. The next time any one of you primitives even looks at me. Yeah. I love this movie. I watched it right when it hit video, so probably 93, 94. And ended up renting it because I thought it looked neat.
Well, yeah, the cover art on that movie is fucking phenomenal too.
Oh yeah,
everything about this movie is great.
Yeah, and you don't see posters like that anymore because that was the fully painted poster type thing, and that style of poster just doesn't happen anymore, which is a shame because I love that style of poster. But the comedy is really good. The slapstick is cranked up to 11.
The real question is, which ending do you prefer?
There are two endings to the movie.
There are.
The first ending didn't test well with audiences.
With good reason.
Yeah, but I like it.
I know, that's why I wanted to bring it up, to show how stupid you are, because it's a terrible fucking ending.
It's not. He sleeps through the end of the world.
You can have that, or you can have Bridget Fonda. Bridget Fonda or Apocalypse.
Yeah, but the Apocalypse fits the Ash character.
Yeah, but Bridget Fonda. I'm a huge Bridget Fonda fan. That's like the only reason to watch Jackie Brown is because she's in it.
Yeah.
And Michael Keaton's awesome too,
But since we spoiled the ending that's not in most of the cuts, because I think it's only in... No, it's not in any of the cuts.
Yeah, it is. It's in the bootleg cut. There's like 4 different versions of the movie you can get on DVD. There's all these different DVD sets that you can buy for this movie because they have... I don't know why. But if you buy... I think it's the bootleg cut, and it's like... If you get it on DVD, it's just a brown cover, like it's like a little tan cover with writing on it.
Yeah.
And I used to own all of them, but I think that's the one with the alternate cut. The Boomstick Edition has the cut on there too on the second disc or whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the other ending does it is more fun, I guess. It's more action.
It's cool.
And it's got Bridget Fonda.
Bridget Fonda.
who wasn't originally cast in the film at all. She only got in there because she asked to be there.
And who's gonna say no? Especially at that time.
Yeah, at that point she was huge because Point of No Return just happened.
Oh.
No, Point of No Return was 94, wasn't it?
Was it 94?
Was it?
It was 92 or 94.
So right around the same time.
Point of No Return's fucking awesome.
Yeah, which it's just basically the Femme Nikita. Did we give our rating for this one? We did not.
We did not.
I give this one a solid 9.
I give this one a 9.5. I love Army of Darkness.
It's a phenomenal film. And
it's my favorite in the trilogy for sure.
Yes. And if you watch all 3 of them in a row, it just gets better as the night goes on.
It does.
But without giving any huge spoilers, that's pretty much the review.
Yeah.
So watch those. I recommend watching them like around the Halloween time because it just fits
The
really well.
atmosphere is much better in the fall.
And so yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
We'll see you Monday.